Hello class, in this video we'll create a magic circle in 3D in After Effects, and then we can use the effect in any science fiction films. Alright, so now let's bring in the footage. So here's a PNG image I found online, and let's create a composition with it. And by default, because the image only has one layer, so the composition has one layer. So we're going to use the mask tool, and we're going to choose the ellipse tool, and we're going to draw a mask. Okay, so when you start to draw and then hold on Shift K, so you can keep it as a circle. Right, and we can come back here and we can change the mask color. So I would do it blue color so I can see it better, and also change the mood as a none so we'll be able to see it. And then hit VK for selection tool, and we can double click here. So we can change the shape, adjust the shape. Okay, and change the scale here, and then hold on Shift K to keep its proportion. And I would like to match this circle. And you can put your anchor point at here, so when you scale it up and down, it could be easier. Right? So now we have masked out the inner side. Hit return key to confirm the change. And here for the mask type, we can change it to subtract. So we only have the outer ring left. Right? And then here I'm going to duplicate this layer and go to this mask. And for the mask here, I'm going to change it to add. So we can hide the first layer, so you can see now this part only have inner side, right? And we can duplicate this mask by hit Command D. And for this mask, I can double click and scale it down and hold on Shift to keep its proportion, and place it at here for the inner ring. Okay, make sure you match the outline. Okay, so hit return key to confirm the change. And for the mask type, I would do subtract. Okay, so that way we have the first row and the second row. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate this mask. Before I duplicate it, for the inner mask, I would change the color to green so I know which one is it. And then I would duplicate this one. And for the mask, I would delete the outer one and then change this mask to add. So now we have the inner side. That's to say, we're gonna have 3 layers. So this is the first layer, and this is the second layer, and this is the third layer. Okay, so if you want to create more layers, if you have more complicated graphics, definitely you can do more layers, and your effects will be more realistic. Okay, however, for demonstration purpose here, I'll just do 3 layers. And also I would change the composite setting. So if you right click here under the layer panel, you can go to composite setting, or you can just right click on the composition itself. So here for the width and height, I would like to increase them so I have more space to perform. I would do about 1500. Okay, and time I can do maybe 15 seconds. Frame rate 25, that's fine. And then here we're going to drop in the background footage into the composition and create a composition for it. Okay, and we're going to bring in the magic circle into our background footage. So now you can see that is still flattened. So we're going to go back to the magic circle composition, and here we're going to create a camera. So right click, go to new, and new camera. And here we can just keep the default setting and later on we're going to change it. Alright, so this is a 3D camera, and here we're going to turn on our 3D layers. Okay, and now if you go back to your background footage, background composition, and if you check on this sun icon and check on 3D layer, so now you can see that if I go to the rotation, I'm able to rotate in 3D dimension, right? Because there we have a 3 axis. Alright. However, as you can see, when I rotate, it's still flattened, so that's to say I can go back here, magic circle, and I can change the arrangement of them. So here I can go to here, 2 view, I change it to 2 views, from 1 view to 2 view. So this is the top view of my project, right? So right now, all the 3D layers are stay together, and this is the camera, and these are 3 layers. And I can select the first layer and bring it in here, and the third layer I'm going to move it further and scale it up. Maybe I need a bit more, so we can have more kind of dramatic feeling. And scale it up. And for the first layer, we'll scale it down. Okay, so now you should see that the 3 layers should be in place. And as you can see, I can rotate them, and they are 3 layers. However, I think the third layer is too much, is too deep, right? Yeah. So I can just go back here and bring the third layer closer and scale it down. So now let's take a look. Yeah, now it looks much better. Okay, so I'm going to put it as a 0. And here I'm going to go back to magic circle and create some animations. So for the first circle, which is inside there, I'll go to hit R key for rotation, and let's see which axis should we rotate. So that should be Z axis. So we'll create a keyframe in the beginning. Okay, and go to 15 seconds. So let's select all of them and extend the time and go to 15 seconds. And then for the Z axis rotation, I'm going to rotate it about, let's try 90. Let me test play the speed. So a little bit slow, right? If I change my preview to color, now the preview is faster, but as you can see, the speed is super slow. So I can go to the next frame, and instead of do 90, I would do 180. Yeah, now it's better. And then I'm gonna select the second layer and do the same thing, rotation and Z at the start, and then at the end here, instead of do 180, I will do minus 180. So they're going to rotate in different direction. Okay, and then for the third one, I would go to rotation as well, and keyframe in the beginning, and here keyframe in the next. And here for the rotation, I would do maybe a 90. So now let's give it a test and see how it looks. So now I want it to rotate in a different speed as the inner ring. So maybe for the third row, I would do, let's try 50. And the inner row, maybe I can do, for the inner side, maybe instead of 180, I would do 240. so it's rotating a little bit faster. Yeah, so now it looks much better. Okay, and now we can go back here and we can add some effects. So now we can rotate the magic circle by 20 or something, so we can see it in 3D, right? And I'm gonna select this layer, and here you can see roughen, right? Roughen edges, so apply to it, and here we can lower down the value, maybe about 2, and sharpness lower it down to about 0.5. And this is with the effect, this is without. So as you can see, with the effect, you're going to take out some of the details. Actually, that's what I want. So here, as you can see, we can create a keyframe on it, right? So you're going to select this effect, hit EK for effects, and down below here, we'll find the keyframes. So create a keyframe in the beginning. And then we can go to half a second. So here, keep in mind that 01, 00, which is 1 second. So here in between, this is a half a second, right? And we can add a keyframe by increase this number to about 3 maybe, and sharpness to about 6. So now if I zoom in very close and if I play, you will see, right? It's shaking. This pattern is shaking. So that's what I want. So later on we're going to apply glow effect to it. So you're going to have the glow. So here we can just repeat this pattern. So go to about 1 second and copy these 2 keyframes. So we can select this one, Command C, copy, Command V to paste it here. Then I can select this whole thing, Command C, copy, and Command V to paste. And repeat this procedure, Command C, copy, and come here and paste. So we're going to fill out this whole time. Alright, then let's add a turbulence noise effect onto it. And here we can increase the contrast, maybe about 500 is enough, and try increase the brightness. So this is how it looks. Basically, it's going to make it add noise to it, make it black and white, right? Increase a little bit more. Here we go. And we can go to the keyframe. So here I want to keyframe the evolution. So go to the 0 second and find evolution here. Create a keyframe and go to the end. And here you can just change the rotation. Maybe here I'll just do 300. And now if I zoom in, you should see the evolution. See, this is how it looks at the evolution. Okay, so in the beginning I would like to set it as 0. Oops. Alright, so as we play it in time, the noise is going to change. Okay, and then here I'm going to apply a tint effect to it. And I'm going to map the white color to yellow. And blue, the dark color, black color to orange. Right? So if we have a very minimum orange color, what you can do is you can go back to the turbulence noise and you can increase contrast and bring down the brightness a little bit, so you'll have more orange color, right? Okay, and then I will come here and apply a glow effect. And you can play with these settings. So here's the setting I used, and then we can search for blur and drop a Gaussian blur effect, and we can increase the value a little bit. And you can also switch order between glow and Gaussian blur. Okay. And maybe Gaussian blur, I would drop it down a little bit, something like this. Then we can scale it down and place it around our actor's hand. Okay, and then we can do whatever we want. So for example, here I can create some keyframe animation for the rotation. So in the beginning, it's aiming to maybe this direction. And then in the end, I let it to rotate to this direction. And also I can change the scale. Okay, so beginning is about 40. And in the end, I increase it about 55. Okay, and then we can go to the position keyframe. So in the beginning it's here, and then at the end I move it along the z-axis. Okay, and also you can create a keyframe on the opacity channel. So in the beginning, we can let it be opacity, be transparent, and then about here we let it come up. Maybe about a few frames. So in the beginning is fade it out, and then fade it in. Okay. And as you've done all of these, and then we can play with the layers. So right now this layer, as you can see, we added a lot of effects to it. So I can make a duplication. So this one I'm going to use it for the glow. So I just rename it, and I'm going to keep all the effects applied. However, for the second layer, I'm gonna go back to its effects. I'm gonna turn off its rough edge and the noise, and I'll keep the tint, turn off the Gaussian blur, and keep the glow effect. And then for the glow layer, I will change the blending mode to screen. Okay. And also I will go back to its settings, and for the Gaussian blur you can increase it a little bit if you want it be more kind of shiny, and you can also increase the intensity if you want. This is how it looks in the end, and you can use this effect in any films. Import this effect for other projects.